Happening now, local police head to Buffalo as a Western New York officer is laid to rest.
It was a great night for the Buffalo Sabres, who got their first win and Game 1 of the World Series. I'm Ryan Hedrick. All that in sports, straight ahead.
And I'm Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter. We have the overcast skies today. Lake effect rain comes tonight, but a big change is on the way next week. You're not going to like the word I have to tell you. It starts with an S. We'll talk about it in a few minutes.
And a pastor's wife says prayers and support is the reason why her church is being rebuilt after it was destroyed in a fire. That's news now for Wednesday, October 25th, 2017.
Live and on demand from the Chautauqua Audio Works studios in downtown Jamestown. This is your source for breaking news. WNY News Now.
Thanks for joining us. I'm Justin Gould. Before we get to our top story, new information on 3 residents who are charged with possessing handguns and cocaine following a raid yesterday. The Jamestown Metro Drug Task Force tells us that Cindy Frank, who was out on bail after being charged with carrying almost 7 ounces of the drug. We will have the latest at WNYNewsNow.com. On to our top story. Right now, thousands of police officers from around the country are in Buffalo to attend a funeral service for a police officer whose body was recovered from the Niagara River last week. 34-year-old Craig Lehner went missing during a training exercise several days before his body was discovered. Local police agencies, including the Jamestown Police Department and the Chautauqua County Sheriff's Office, are at attendance at the funeral at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo. The Buffalo News is reporting that this could be the largest police funeral in Western New York history. Chautauqua County Sheriff Joseph Gerasi is co-anchoring on Channel 4's coverage today as well. Here's a bite from earlier.
Now we're going to bring in Chautauqua County Sheriff Joe Gerasi, who has unfortunately had some experience with these situations before, and some unfortunately somewhat recently. So, Sheriff, as you're looking at these images, I would imagine that it sort of brings the emotion back to you as a leader in Chautauqua County, and also to your agency. What goes through your mind when you see these images?
Well, it's always with a heavy heart that you look at any funeral, but a funeral of a law enforcement officer hits at home, and it's a difficult time for all involved.
Now, we were talking just before about the amount of planning that goes into something like this. Of course, the emotion is absolutely there, but an undertaking like this, where we're talking potentially 10,000 law enforcement, thousands of members of the public. When it comes to that planning for something like this, what is that like?
It's amazing. I don't think most people could understand how much goes into this in a very short period of time. The logistics, dealing with everything from traffic patterns to moving people safely to coordinating law enforcement response and parking and all this done around the wishes of the family, which is first and foremost. You know, we have sit down with the family initially and talk about what part of our ceremonial process they want to be involved in or have involved in this, and then taking that, we go on to the planning stage, which is sitting down and working with as many people as necessary to make this the best possible ceremony that it can be.
And here's a live look at the Key Bank Center in Buffalo as the service progresses. Let's listen in for a moment.
That he walked around looking like a darn movie star. With his flowing blonde locks and tattoos, athletic physique, and that Cali surfer attitude of his, he was always a favorite among the ladies, prompting us.
So for more on Officer Lehner's funeral and hear more from Sheriff Gerasi at our website, WNYNewsNow.com. In other news, fatal drug overdoses in Chautauqua County have increased dramatically over the last 5 years. The State Attorney General's office says that 26 residents died from drug overdoses in 2015. That number represents a 100% increase from 2010. A local recovery advocate says that despite the harsh reality of active addiction, he has hope for those battling addiction. Mental Health Associate Director of New Programs, Rick Huber.
I don't know how many trainings we've done in Narcan, and a lot of people are getting trained in Narcan. So I think we're seeing, plus the cost of heroin on the streets going up. And what we're seeing now is, we're still seeing some deaths because I've done some funerals in the last couple months, but I think we're seeing a rise in meth that's going out of style, which will probably hit, if it hasn't already, epidemic levels.
Huber says the Mental Health Association of Chautauqua County is working with local schools to offer early intervention to those affected by mental illness. A Jamestown church that was destroyed by a fire last December is being rebuilt. Today, neighbors say they're happy that the First Church of God is bouncing back.
It was devastating because when you hear the trucks and that, you wonder where are they going, and the closer they get, oh my God, is it us or who? It's got to be. And to watch something like that, it leaves you empty. It just something so good in a place that does so much good. But it's exciting to watch the rebuild and to know they're coming back.
Deanne Lee is the pastor's wife, Mervyn Lee. She says that the outpouring of prayers and support is exactly what they needed.
When it burned, it's in the middle of the night, and our community came out, and they're like, what are you going to do? What are you going to do? As a matter of fact, a little girl was crying because we do trunk or treat, and she's like, where are we going to have it? Well, we're going to have it. We're going to have it, and where it's going to be outside, but we're still going to have it this year.
Lee tells us that annual trunk or treat event will be held on Sunday from 6 to 8. Well, now we check in with Chief Forecaster Dakota Hunter with a first look at your weather. Hey, Dakota.
Hey, good Wednesday, everybody. And it's actually quite a little chilly out there. Let's take a look at the Chautauqua Lake Sky Vision camera. We've got the cloud cover pretty much across the lake and that lake water as well. It's 45 in Lakewood with a dew point at 37 and kind of a gusty breeze south-southwest at 9. We'll talk about lake effect rain coming our way and something coming next week. It starts with the word S. Sorry, but we'll talk about it in a few minutes. Back to you, Justin.
All righty, Dakota. Not looking forward to that, but thank you. Well, Facebook may be changing a little bit. Our Storm Hartman has that and more in today's Tech Bite.
Facebook has rolled out a new feature in some countries called Explore Feed. While not available in the United States, the feature is designed to put all sponsored publishings, such as this news show, BuzzFeed posts, or any other content supported by an advertiser in a separate tab from your friends' postings on Facebook. Companies aren't too happy about this, as Facebook is wanting to charge companies to appear on the main news feed. Is this where Facebook is heading, or will it stay as it is? We will keep you in the loop. Now over to Google, where their new phone is stirring up some controversy. The Google Pixel 2 is the company's latest smartphone to hit market, and some users are reporting that their phones are starting to, quote, burn in the images that appear on screen. In a statement, Google's vice president has said, "We take all reports of issues very seriously, and our engineers are investigating quickly. We will provide updates as soon as we have conclusive data." And lastly, this is a big one for all of you Call of Duty fans this year. Gamers Haven, located across the street from Sam's Club on Fairmount Avenue, will be hosting a Call of Duty tournament for the release of the upcoming title Call of Duty World War II. The annual tournament is only $5 to enter, and the more people that come, the bigger the prize, so come on down. It all starts at 6 p.m. on November 2nd and runs until the tournament is over. For WNY News Now, I'm Storm Hartman.
Straight ahead, a city man facing charges after an incident at the Riverwalk, and later we check back in with the Buffalo police officer Craig Vayner's funeral. That's next.
EagleZip.com is your local one-stop shop for all of your home and business computer needs. Located on Fluvan Avenue Extension, just outside of Jamestown, EagleZip.com sells and services all brands of desktops and laptops, as well as servers and network equipment for your business. All new computer sales include transferring your data from your old computer plus a 2-year warranty. Call EagleZip.com today.
Stop by EagleZip.com today and let us make computers easy for you.
You're watching WNY News Now, where coverage comes first.
We've lowered property taxes, we've got growth, we've got jobs, we've got financial stability, but I could never, ever look any one of you in the eye if I wasn't confident that there was someone ready to go not someone that needs to learn on the job, not someone that needs a job and, hey, maybe we'll try county executive. And that person is standing next to me. It's legislator George Barillo.
A hockey tournament showcasing 10 nations and some of the best players in the world is returning to Western New York this year. Officials at Jamestown's Northwest Arena tell us that Team USA will play 2 exhibition games right here. The tournament will start a few days later at the KeyBank Center in Harbor Place in Buffalo. This is the first time ever the tournament hosts an outdoor game that will be played at the New Era Field between US and Canada. Well, police have charged a man with menacing after witnesses told them that he displayed a pistol to them near the Riverwalk. Jamestown police say they received the call late Tuesday afternoon. After getting a description of the suspect, they located 25-year-old Benny Overstreet Jr. We're told he will be arraigned on Wednesday afternoon. The Butler, PA trial for 19-year-old Jonathan Young, the man accused of setting several fires in Jamestown and Falconer, is now scheduled to start in late January of next year. Young's attorney Joseph Smith previously telling our Matt Hummel he's expected the trial to be delayed. Young also faces charges in Warren County, Pennsylvania, as well as here in Jamestown. The former Falconer grad currently sits in Butler County Jail in lieu of $75,000 bail.
Now, your First Defense Forecast with Dakota Hunter.
Happy Hump Day, everybody. Well, I think that's 2016, but happy Wednesday anyway. Let's take a final look at the Chautauqua Lake Sky Vision camera. You can see the cloud cover above the lake and the lake water as well. 45 out in Lakewood with that dew point at 37, and a pretty healthy south-southwest breeze at 9. And so we will see this, but we do bring the rain back. As a matter of fact, I told you we had lake effect rain, and here it is. This is First Defense Doppler. You can see this band of lake effect rain stretching across Lake Erie. It's mainly affecting the Buffalo north towns going up toward the city of Buffalo right now, and you can see it right here. This is the Buffalo waterfront right here, downtown Buffalo. It's basically affecting the Buffalo north towns up toward Kenmore, North Tonawanda, going into the city of Buffalo, and then down into the Buffalo South towns like Lackawanna, and then West Seneca, which is over here. We are expecting this lake effect rain band to actually shift a little bit further south and start to impact areas in the southern tier. And in fact, here it is on Vipercast. Now, this is the in-house computer model that we run right here in the Weather Center, and you can see it has this lake effect band shifting a little bit further south toward the southern tier. You can see it starts to break apart a little bit throughout the overnight hours. It turns into more scattered showers, and then it actually starts to dissipate over Chautauqua County going into northwest Pennsylvania. Now, that is for today, but with a cold air mass coming our way early next week with a new storm system, that is going to develop a wintry mix on Monday. So because of that, we want to give you the first defense on what you can expect for Monday. Now, temperatures will be in the lower 40s on Monday. That will allow rain to mix with a possible few wet snowflakes, and the location for this will mainly be across the southern tier into northwest Pennsylvania, and we expect little to no snow accumulation out of this, so that is the good news. But we could see the first flakes of the season come Monday, so be prepared for it, guys. Winter is on the way, and it kind of does feel like winter out there right now on these current temperatures. 42 at Jamestown, 48 at Dunkirk, 48 at Erie, also in Buffalo, 50 at the Falls. And again, this is pretty much fall time air, and we will get a little bit cooler today. Here's the weather almanac for today. Sunset time comes up at 6:20 tonight. It's getting closer to 6 o'clock. Sunrise tomorrow morning at 7:43. Record for this date is 81. We obviously will not hit that. That record's safe for another year. First defense forecast for this Wednesday. Chance for a few light lake effect rain showers in the afternoon as the band shifts southward. Otherwise, cloudy skies will go for a high of around 46 with a southwest breeze 9 to 14. And then for tonight, mostly cloudy skies. That lake effect band settles further southward toward northwest Pennsylvania. We'll shoot for a low of around 36 degrees. That's quite chilly though. And then for tomorrow, partly sunny skies. We're bringing a chance of a few showers not related to the lake. We'll go for a high of around 52 degrees. The wind does come down a little bit westward around 3 to 6, so it won't be as windy either. Now, for the next 7 days of your life, you can see for Friday, we actually clear out for Friday with partly sunny skies, but the rain comes back for the weekend with slightly above average temperatures. Halloween at this point, which is next Tuesday, looking dry but cool though. Ryan will have sports right after the break, so please stay with us.
Chautauqua Audio Works now offers instrument rentals starting at just $17 per month. We're your school's band and orchestra headquarters, the only place with loaners on site. So pick up an instrument today. Order online with the keyword Chautauqua, shipping straight to your door. With coverage that matters, this is WNY News Now.
Located in the St. Elmo building in Chautauqua Institution, La Familia Restaurant is more than a restaurant.
So people love the fact that we are committed to the farm-to-table aspect in our produce and focus on sustainability with our seafood too.
La Familia has signature dishes.
Sirloin filet over on the table. Next is our Aegean chicken and cider brine pork chop.
La Familia even has a singing chef. La Familia, fine dining with a family atmosphere. Let them host your special event today. LaFamiliaCHQ.com.
Sports brought to you by Phone Zone in Jamestown. Stop by 609 Foot Avenue and go see Andy, Phone Zone, Jamestown. World Series Game 1 from Los Angeles. Justin Turner with 2 on and 2 out. Boom! Turns on that pitch. Quick, fast, and in a hurry, making it 3-1 Dodgers. The Astros couldn't and wouldn't bounce back because Clayton Kershaw was brilliant. He pitched 7 innings, struck out 11, and the Dodgers go on to win Game 1, 3-1. Cleveland Indians manager Terry Francona is named the American League Manager of the Year by the Sporting News on Tuesday. The Indians won 102 games this year, but they weren't good enough to beat the Yankees in the American League Division Series. They lost that series 3-2 after being up 2 games. In the NHL, the Buffalo Sabres bounce back. They're in the win column thanks to great goaltending by Robin Leonard. Look at those saves. Wow, he was good last night. It's his first shutout of the season. In fact, speaking of firsts, first home win for Sabres coach Phil Hasley. Buffalo Sabres end a 3-game home losing streak, beating Detroit 1-0. From the WNY Sports Now desk, I'm Ryan Hedrick. It all unfolds here.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
Everything's made fresh here. We love to be outside, and it's nice inside if it's raining, so we have a choice.
Locals and non-locals agree that the Main Landing is quickly becoming a destination.
It's just so casual, and just the food is amazing.
I love the hamburgers.
But I really like the tuna I had.
The Main Landing Restaurant. Excellent service, awesome food, and a beautiful view.
You're watching WNY News Now, your source for breaking news.
Welcome back. Let's check back in now with Buffalo Police Officer Craig Lehner's funeral, which is going on at the KeyBank Center in Buffalo as he's laid to rest today. Let's listen.
There you go. Yeah, and some gave all. And we know that within our dear brother, your dear son, Craig. You said that, Kathy, that when your son was about, I think, maybe 3 weeks or 4 weeks old, you and your husband took him to the church and you dedicated him to the Lord. Just like when you think of Hannah in the Bible, you know, dedicating, this is bad, Samuel. And, you know, we think of these things because dedicated to God Almighty really, really hung with that young man. And it's marvelous. I heard all these things about him, but you knew him all in your heart from the time he was just a little guy, right? Yeah, yeah. And it's awesome. When we think of these things, we have to think about our own lives and how we serve. I have no capability to being a police officer. Some of you might say that about yourselves in so many other ways. But God created us. God.
So for more from Buffalo, be sure to log on to pretty much any of the Buffalo websites. WIVB is the feed that we're accessing today to watch more of this. And of course, we will have more on our website later in the day at WNYNewsNow.com. Earlier in the day, Chautauqua County Sheriff Joe Gerasi appeared on News 4's coverage of the processional. We talked about that at the top. Well, Gerasi spoke with Dave Graber about Dunkirk police officer Matthew Hazelton, who passed away earlier this year. Let's take a listen to that.
Very sad day, and I didn't know Matt personally, but many of my members of the Sheriff's Office did, but more importantly, our friends at Dunkirk Police lost a brother. His family lost a dad and a husband, and it's hard to get through this without breaking down. And internally, there's a lot of people crying. You know, those police officers aren't showing it, but inside they are.
And one of the more powerful images was the one that was just sort of cut there. Obviously, you have Matthew Hazelton's widow, very, very emotional about everything that's going on, and that's obvious. But what struck me, too, was the amount of support that she received, not only from the officers that are immediately within the Dunkirk family, but beyond. That kind of support is so important to law enforcement in these moments of
And
tragedy.
that's what we're seeing today.
You are, and that's the extended family. Yeah. And this agencies have come from, but it's not unusual to see them from the West Coast.
And forecaster Dakota Hunter here as well. Dakota, earlier in the year when we had Officer Matthew Hazelton from Dunkirk, who passed away after a pretty lengthy illness, we saw that camaraderie that all of the police officers have. And I know, in quoting Sheriff Gerasi, kind of paraphrasing, he talked to us earlier in the week, the biggest thing that comes on your mind is, what if it was you?
Right.
What would you do? And really, with that camaraderie, it's honestly great to see the support from not only the community with the blue pumpkins in Buffalo, all the blue lights on the porches, but people showing out today as well to give their appreciation. You're wearing blue.
Yeah, you got my blue shirt on as well as my blue tie as well.
So of course, to keep the discussion going about officer safety, they face so many things as they just go to do their job every day. So we're really thankful for that, and thankful to see his family. Absolutely horrible what has happened and what they're going through, but I'm blessed to live in a community where you have such a great police force, and really to see people coming together, because we saw that with the Callie's Crusade stuff just a couple years ago here. So it's pretty amazing.
Law enforcement's a very dangerous job, and I don't think we give our law enforcement officials enough credit for for the stuff that they do. Every day they're out there putting their lives on the line to protect us, and I don't think that we give them, and I just don't think we give them enough credit that they deserve. And they,
And unfortunately, it's times like this where it's really big in the news. But we certainly try for every story that we cover to try to keep it up to date and keep things rolling. So, with that, let's check in with the forecast. I know you broke the big news earlier today that we have all that, the S word is returning.
Let's take a look at the 7-day one more time. And again, there is a slight chance of that lake effect rain shower today as that lake band moves southward, but it's mainly going to be for tonight. Now tomorrow, pretty much scattered rain showers that is not related to the lake, and we're actually a little bit cooler. Average high this time of the year is 56. We take a look at that warm up for Friday and Saturday, but we're bringing the rain again for the weekend. Now the icon on Monday, that actually is a rain-snow mix on the icon. That's technically what it's that's actually what that icon is in the weather system.
Right.
It's rain-snow mix. And again, that is due to a developing storm system that's going to impact the region over the weekend and Monday. And with that temperature of 43, not out of the question, with a few wet snowflakes mixing in, that's why we are giving you the first defense on a few snowflakes. And again, Tuesday is Halloween. It's looking for the day pretty much dry, and mainly for the nighttime as well, but it's going to be chilly. Make sure you bundle up those kids if you're going trick-or-treating on Tuesday. And of course, we will update the trick-or-treating forecast throughout the week and early next week right here.
Perfect. I think I'm going to be a mummy this year, because then I can just wrap myself in like a giant scarf.
I'm just going to be Steve Jobs. I'm going to dress up in my blue jeans and my black turtleneck, and I'm just going to dress up like Steve Jobs.
Perfect. Well, hey, that's news now for today. Ryan is filling in tomorrow for News 24/7. Be sure to visit WNYNewsNow.com. It's where coverage comes first. Have a great day.